Hey everyone, Mrs. Leddy here. Happy Monday. I am coming to you live from my backyard. The cool thing about learning at home is that you don't have to be inside. You don't have to be at a desk. You can go outside. You can put a blanket or a towel out on your grass, whatever makes you happy that day. It's kind of cool. So although I can't see you, I wanted to send you guys a video of me doing a read aloud, and I wanted to read to you today the true story of the 3 little pigs. Now, before we start this book, I want you to go back in your brain and recall what nonfiction and fiction texts are. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 seconds of independent think time to go back in your brain. What is a fiction text and what is a nonfiction text? Okay, so to review, a fiction text means that it is not real. It is fake. In a fiction book, you might have characters, you might have a beginning, middle, and end, and a setting, when and where. In a nonfiction text, you are going to have real information. Nonfiction means it's not fake. The book might be about dogs or about the United States. It's about information that is real. So I'm going to show you the cover of this one more time, and I want you to blow it into your hand, hold it, and when I say let it go, I want you to tell me, is this a fiction or nonfiction text? The true story of the 3 little pigs. 3, 2, 1, let it go. It is fiction. It's fiction. I can see a character here. I know it's not a real wolf because he's wearing a bow tie and he's wearing glasses. Although the title says the true story of the 3 little pigs, I know this is not a true story. So it's going to be fiction. All right, guys, let's jump on in. The True Story of the 3 Little Pigs by A. Wolfe, as told by John Sheska, illustrated by Lane Smith. John Sheska is one of my favorite authors. To Jerry and Molly. Everybody knows the story of the 3 little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you are big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? That doesn't seem very sturdy or strong, does it? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed. Achoo! And I sneezed a great sneeze. Remember, sneeze into your elbow and wash your hands. And you know what? The whole house, straw and all, fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. Down he went. He had been home that whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner laying in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger laying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Again, nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you are not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig. Down he went too. Wolf's honor. So what do you think he did? Do you think the wolf ate the second pig? Now you know, food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker said to me? "Get out of here, wolf. Don't ever bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Oh! Not kind. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when someone talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene because, you know, I had a cold. There's the police coming. And the rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down stuff. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. They made it up. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. All right, you guys. So I want you to tell me in the comments below, would you loan Alexander T. Wolf a cup of sugar? If you would, why? And if you wouldn't, tell me why not. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. It was great to read to you.